I did not intend to do tonight. Actually, my better half is downstairs watching TV. So where am I right now? You might wonder. Well, I'm in my movie reviewing room. So this is an area you don't see. It's actually pretty pretty plain in the background right now. There's a lot of books over there. There used to be a ton of movies there. There's like a whole movie shelf that's been since been packed up. But I'm slowly packing the books. Hey there, William. Welcome, man. But tonight I wanted to talk about not just the announcements that Screen Factory released. And let me know if you can hear me okay, because I am upstairs and I am using my phone for this. Hey there, Chris. But, you know, hey there, Dave. So this is going to be talking about where I think the future of like collecting for horror and movies is going to go. And just what you guys see, for those of you guys that have been here a lot. So basically, you see, was it right here? So that's the TV that I use for for most of my watching. It's we got a 65-inch downstairs, but up here we got just like 55-inch that I use for review purposes and for watching movies. It also has the ability to do like 3D, so I can watch 3D movies on there as well. And I do have a PS4 attached to it for that particular reason, because. So there were announcements made today for the Screen Factory releases. I got my iPad up here, and I figured we'd kind of go over these. So we know that some of the early releases are now coming out in 4K. So first off, we have Cat People. Looks like it's going to have a gorgeous 4K release. So all these are going to more than likely have the same style of releases. Now, not everything's 4K, by the way. There's going to be other announcements that aren't. As this here one. This is the reason I brought it up. So this is Halloween in the 4K edition. It's really gorgeous. It's a hard box edition of it, and it's they did a really great job of the scan, by the way. We also have a 4K scan of the Funhouse, which I'm a really big fan of this film. So this one is definitely on my want list. And a 4K scan. A good friend of mine, DJ Anubis, actually gave me the original Dog Soldiers, which I'm going to keep near and dear to my heart. I will still buy the new one, but I want to have I'll have both, because Dog Soldiers is getting a 4K release as well. Do I have any limited? I got a lot of MGM releases actually. For a while there, Alan, I was collecting MGM like a lot, and the one non 4K release, the only non 4K release that's here, is one that Imprint put out a while back. Fire in the Sky. Hey there, Sean. Welcome, man. Actually, that's what we're going to get into. I'm glad you asked that question, Sean. So right now I'm going to put I'm going to try and open it up on here too, because on here, I might miss some of your comments. So I'm going to try and put it here so that I don't miss any comments. Because normally I have it downstairs and I put it on my TV, and I don't want to put it on my TV right here. Though really, it's probably the best way to do it. Well, let's do it right here. Here we go. I got all your comments right here. That Dog Soldiers does look sweet. I do agree. Do I think Dog Soldiers uses the same scan as Second Sight? I'd bet on it, actually. I'd say a lot of the scans that they're going to be getting are from are ones that if they're not doing it themselves, they're going to be over from the UK. They're going to be procuring the UK scans to put it. And I don't think it's a bad idea either to put in kind of in context. I think that Screen Factory, they've gotten scans from other places before. They do their own scans for certain ones, and they have companies that do scans for them. So them actually bringing scans in from the UK, it's not a new thing. It's something that they've done in the past, like their John Carpenter releases, those 4K releases, by the way. I'm pretty sure that those were scans that were. This almost looks like a prison. My God, this is so like. Dark. I'm not used to not having something behind me. That was something that we're gonna look into. So the future of collecting. What is the future of collecting? Well, tell you what, when I get 6 likes on this video, we'll go into the future of collecting. I've never heard of a Second Sight scan, Dave, that has ever been bad. Now somebody can correct me if they want to. But as far as I've heard, Yeah, there hasn't been any bad Second Sight releases that I've ever seen. In fact, Second Sight may be one of those companies that's underrated when it comes to films and to filmmaking. God, there's 11 people here and I can't get 6 likes. Some of you guys are stingy on your likes. I'm just gonna say that right now. Just putting that out there. But let's go. Let's get into it. Let's get certificates. We'll do it at 5. It's okay. If more comes in and we get more, fantastic. I'm not going to be like that. Anyway, so this is going to truly be this is the future of collecting right now, guys. Right now, here's the thing. Physical media is, hey there, Alvin, welcome, man. Physical media, in a way, is I wouldn't say it's on a downward spiral, but the way people collect and the type of people that collect have changed. Back in the day, it was everybody that grabbed physical media. They'd go to the local Walmart or Target or Best Buy or Kmart if they were around back then, and there'd be tons and tons of physical media in stores, and that's what people ordered. And then there'd be the big Amazon sales that would come on later on, and people would order through Amazon. And people still order physical media through Amazon and other places like that. Best Buy is an online store. Almost every place is an online entity right now. But hey there, Dag, welcome, man. What I've noticed, hey Dustin, man, welcome, is that right now the brunt of the physical media, the big money is coming from boutique labels. So that means that's your Criterions, your Screen Factories, your Arrow Videos, your Vinegar Synonyms, your Severins, that type of thing. So people are still purchasing. It's not that people aren't purchasing. It's just that you have to take into consideration physical space. So if you've got a store, if you got a Walmart, and you can put some bins with some movies in them and have like a smaller physical space and put in like higher ticket items into those areas, then you're going to put higher ticket items in those areas, because at the end of the day, what it comes down to is Walmart doesn't make as much money selling this as they do selling a TV or a computer or other items. So see, this doesn't make them a lot of money, but it still gets people into the stores. So you'll still get certain physical media in certain places, but like a place like a Best Buy, which has always been more oriented when it comes to electronics, computers, that type of thing. Future Shop was really the place that had the strong physical media presence. When physical, no, I'm upstairs. You missed my video. I'm upstairs in my reviewing room. So to give you an idea, so right up here is where I watch all of my movies. So there is a TV over there and a PS4. It's a 3D Toshiba 55-inch television set that I watch all of my movies on. And unless it's a 4K, then that's watched downstairs on my 65-inch, and that is a Sony. And we have another one in the house, which is an LG, and that's a 55-inch 4K. And we have and I have a CRT over there that I game on as well. But anyway, so to get back to the point, sorry about that. Basically, I didn't get arrested. If you were here at the beginning, Future Boy, you would have seen other areas in this room. There you go. See, you got to go back to the beginning afterwards and see the TV and stuff over there, and my mess of like shirts and hoodies that I have there. So at this point, it's the collector's editions. That's that type of stuff that's really selling. That's really getting people out there. Whether it's where it's a label, a sub-label. But one thing is becoming more and more clear as we go into the next phase of collecting. We are in hey there, Antoine, welcome, man. We are into what early collectors would call the Laserdisc Phase. And what that means is there is going to be a medium that is meant specifically for collectors. And it is here. And it is 4K. And you can expect companies like Vinegar Syndrome, like Shout Factory, like Severin. Blue Underground already has. Blue Underground was actually an early adopter. to go even deeper and harder into these type of releases. So if you were an early adapter, if you're somebody that just got into 4K this year, or you're into it before, congratulations, you bet on the right horse. This was eventually where it kind of had to go. Because here's the thing. Hey there, Gary. Welcome, man. We are still going to get lots of Blu-rays and DVDs. DVD is still the best-selling format that's out there. Like, don't let people like make you think that like it's Blu-ray or it's 4K. It's not. Actually, DVDs still sell best because it's just easier for mass consumption, and they're cheap too. That's the thing. But for collectors, for people that really take their collecting and their films seriously, there is only so many different gimmicks that you can do. There's only so many different like box sets and bonus discs or books or booklets or posters before something's kind of got to give. And in that case, and in this case, I guess is the best way to put it, it's 4K. 4K was the next step to go for when it came to physical media collecting. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to be pissed off by this, and I get it. I really, really do. I understand that it's a new format. It's another format. Oh my God, am I going to have to upgrade to another format? I'm going to have to buy like movies over again. When you went from VHS to DVD or DVD to Blu-ray, for instance, at the end of the day, nobody told you you had to buy a movie over again. You did not have to buy the Halloween movies, the Friday 13th movies, the Nightmare on Elm Street movies over again because it came out in another format. I can understand the VHS to DVD when it happened. It was a huge jump. And even from DVD to Blu-ray, there was definitely a big jump because it wasn't so much, it was the features that they put in, for me anyway, specifically for me, it was the features that they had put in there. But now we're getting to a point where, as a collector, it's leaning more and more towards the cinephiles. Those are the people that are going to be buying and continue buying continuously down the road. As some people steer off and go into whether it be streaming or minimalizing their collection, which I completely understand. I have a large collection, so I definitely really get that concept that's going around right now. So when companies are looking out towards the future, one of the things that they got to look for is looking towards people that they know are going to continue to buy. People that are going to want to have the very best versions of each of their favorite films that they can have. And this is it. I get asked about 8K all the time. And people say, well, they're making 8K TVs. Does that mean there's going to be 8K movies made? No, probably not. Probably never. 8K is meant to be for streaming. So for anybody that's ever got a 4K player, and then they went and watched a movie on Netflix that was in 4K, you'll notice a considerable difference in the picture and the sound quality. Sure, it'll be upticked towards more of a 4K, but it won't be 4K. It won't even be close to what your 4K physical media disc will be. So if you've ever only watched like 4K in streaming and you don't have a player, that's not a really real 4K. It's close to it as it can get, but there's limitations because it's streaming, the same as when you're streaming anything. You'd still be able to say 1080p, but things clock in and clock out, that type of thing. Let's not get too technical here, but that's kind of the way that it goes. No, I think we're still going to get, Sean, we're still going to get newer movies getting physical releases. Now, we may not get now for certain movies, definitely. For other movies that are moving towards streaming services, for instance, the movie that won the Oscar this year, Coda, was, that's a streaming service film. I would expect that to get a release down the road, but a lot of them probably aren't going to get the same type of release. Exactly, just buy the new stuff. Hey there, Kay, welcome. Just buy the new stuff that you don't have in 4K. And maybe if you want to get some of your favorites, like I have many versions of Halloween, but when Halloween came out, I bought Halloween and Halloween 2. I'll eventually get 3, 4, and 5 in 4K, but do I need them right now? No, not really. Though when this baby came out, yeah, the blockbusters always have physical releases. You have see for smaller indie companies, sometimes it's easier for them to partner with a Tubi or a Shutter or another small streaming service or even on YouTube for them to promote their films. It's a very empty room. This is my watching room. Uh, there's a whole bunch of like stuff here, but we're on the other side of it. That's my, for those that don't know, my TV's over there. That's where I watch all my films at when I review films. And over there I have a PS4 and a region-free player. And I used to have like a whole bunch of movies here, but they're all packed up. And I got a lot of books here and little things like this. So when I went to buy this movie, actually I didn't, because a viewer sent it to me, and in 4K, because I knew that was going to be one that I would want in 4K. When I look at one of my favorite books of all time, the Nightmare USA by Stephen Thrower, I look into this and I see so many movies that I'm hoping come out in 4K. By the way, if you don't have this book, it's fantastic. Really, check it out. It's one of the greats. Whew. It's the future of collecting. You're still going to get your Blu-rays. You're still going to get your special editions. And Alan, you'll still get your TV on DVD box sets, because DVD is still one of the biggest selling formats. And there's one thing that you can always set your clock on for casual viewers that don't buy stuff. And thank you, Steino, like regularly, is that they will buy kids films, action films, TV shows, and as with regular media releases on DVD. So that's why you still see so much TV. You'll see more TV coming over to Blu-ray right now, but still you'll see a lot of them like having a Blu-ray and a DVD edition, because the Blu-ray editions of TV shows specifically sell really well. That's the same reason if you go to your local Walmart, you'll see a whole bunch of kids films there. You got your Scooby-Doos and your Disneys and stuff. They're not abandoning DVD because it's selling well for them. True Romance is going to be a great, that's a good release. You know, speaking of that, I watched Heathers the other night, and I'd forgotten how much I love that film. And I do, I mean, like I don't know if anybody, I'm a musical fan too. I'm a theater guy. So the musical of Heathers, it's freaking fantastic. I'm not sure how many songs were changed. And it was workshopped a bit. Not as workshopped as much as Carrie, but either way. So anyway, that's a tangent. I'm not going to get on that right now. What I do want to talk about is what this means for people that may not want to go 4K or may not think about going 4K right now. So just think of this. Put yourself into the place when Blu-ray was coming around, and you had your DVDs and you had your nice DVD collection. It was all ready. It was all set up, and you're like, "Wow, there you go. I got my DVD collection. Blu-rays came around." And you're like, "Oh man, I'm not sure, because I've got this great DVD collection and I've curated this really well. Do I really want to buy these movies over again on Blu-ray?" And what did you end up doing? Did you like stick mostly with your DVDs? And if you did, that's fantastic. That's wonderful. Or did you eventually, kind of, as things started to lower in price, start to like double dip a bit and get some things that you wanted? Because here's the thing right now. Some of these can be pretty pricey, but also some of these releases, like the one I'm showing out here right now, because it's one of the only ones that I still got unpacked, Halloween, you can get for like 20-something bucks. 4Ks are going down in price. That's the thing. Now, and there's always these big sales that come on too. Like, so people are like, "Oh, I can't buy this movie here because it's coming out on 4K and video stream. It's gonna be super expensive." But the fact of the matter is, there's sales too. So you'll eventually be able to get them at prices that maybe will be more acceptable to you. I'm more personally really excited about these Scream Factory upgrades because I don't own many of the previous releases. That's a really nice way to think about it too. And another way to think about this, and I always try to really kind of like push this point when I'm talking about 4Ks. And I understand it can be divisive. Future Buy, that you know where I'm going. Right? It obviously knows where I'm going. Is that you want, if you really love a film and you want it as close to the theatrical experience as possible, a good 4K release will give you that. And that's not just picture, like Future Buy mentioned right there. And I will sing the praises of this. You guys know I'm an audio person. I spoke with Wall recently from Howling Wolf Records. By the way, if you haven't been checking out their releases, they have been like knocking it out of the park on a regular basis. I got something new coming from Howling Wolf, so as soon as I get that in, we're going to be looking at that and reviewing that as well, by the way. Definitely check them out because just one of the greats. Audio matters. Anybody that never thought that audio matters never watched Halloween. One of my favorite movies of all time. Halloween, if you ever watch Halloween with that soundtrack, for instance, it's hilarious. It's kind of like, there's this like video that was for a few years back, and I'm sure people have seen this, had like dancing in the streets, but done with just without the, with them singing, with the singing and their noises and the music all taken out, and it was really hilarious. So the, basically, audio is key. When you get a good, decent surround system, you don't have to like break the bank either. Like you can go all out. You get yourself like a 4K TV, Adobe Atmos, man. You're bouncing off the walls. You got like a theater like experience. I don't have the money for Adobe Atmos myself. I got myself like a decent Sonos system. I got a couple speakers with it. Gives a nice surround sound. And that is like that's kind of the thing for me. That's the key part for me, is being able to do that. Thank you, DIY. I love these stickers. I gotta say, these stickers show up so cool on my iPhone. So thank you so much. And damn, that's cool. I love the way these are. William said, yes, I'll eventually get a 4K player down the road, but when I do, I'll have the 4K Blu-ray collection. I don't have a 4K player yet, but I play 4K on my Apple TV. So yeah, it's going to be even better, trust me, when you get the actual like Blu-ray player. And that's the thing. That's the one key part that's maybe stopping things from going totally through right now. Is the 4K players, they got to get down in price a bit. Now, where the newer, like the PS5 or the Xbox Series X, both those systems, if you got that, you got a built-in 4K player right now. Yeah, I kind of get that. I don't judge anybody, big crack, but I understand when it comes to that. Like it's so important, like to the experience. Like it's fantastic if the TV looks great, and definitely you want that. And it took me a while. Like it can be a finance thing for that too. Hey there, Maddie, welcome, man. Make sure it's a good one. I watched a few good movies recently. I watched one. What did I watch the other night? Not a lot. Some people aren't gonna like it, but I did watch one called Look Away, which I hadn't seen, and I really enjoyed it. But it's a bit of an odd film, but I liked it. But so that it's key. It's going to be key when it comes to like the more people get into collecting, the more they're going to realize that how key the audio is. When you got like, hey there, and ready, welcome. It's my brother from Trent, from Ontario. It's been a while, man. I'm not sure if you still. I gotta check your channel. I want to see if you've done any hunting videos recently. I've been trying to get people. Eventually, I want to get people on the channel, and so if you're game and ready, I'll definitely get you on there sometime. Yeah, there's Blu-ray re-releases coming out with these 4Ks. Does that mean that all new 4K scans on Blu-ray don't? Hey, they're Flickering Wave. Flickering Wave's got a podcast, which you should be checking out, by the way. And they'll be doing newer stuff with that. So you won't get like a 4K scan on a Blu-ray is the same. For instance, the best way to put it, is, let's just say you got a Blu-ray and a DVD combo pack back in the day, right? So you got the DVD, and when you put the Blu-ray into the DVD into your Blu-ray system, it upticks it to make it kind of look similar, but not the same as a 4K release. When it comes to like a 4K scan of a film that's put on Blu-ray, what they have to do is they take the 4K scan, either comes from the OCN or the interpositive, usually one of the two ways to remaster it, depending on the source material that they got. And then to put it onto a Blu-ray, they have to take the new scan and downgrade it to fit onto a Blu-ray disc. So it'll still be the best that it can look on Blu-ray, but the 4K disc will look even better. Now, that being said, one of the great things with this is that sometimes they don't do that. Screen Factory does not always put a new scan of a disc on there. Sometimes they'll put an older scan of a disc. I think, if I'm correct, and you guys can I'm pretty sure that this is an older, Halloween. It's not a new like scan onto the Blu-ray. See, if Screen Factory has already put out a Blu-ray edition of a film, and they're putting out a 4K edition of the film, then one of the things that they can do is they can go out and they can put out a 4K edition of that film, and all they have to do, rather than reprint a new Blu-ray with the new scan, is they can take the other copies that they already have on hand and put them into. I would love to see that, actually. I would totally buy that. Of course, Dave Thomas is Canadian, so yes, I did. But yeah, so often you're not going to get like a new 4K scan on the Blu-ray unless they mention it. What you're going to get is the Blu-ray that came out before with a brand new 4K disc. But here's the thing. If you're like William, for instance, and you're buying ahead of time, it's a smart move to make. If you can afford it, man, if you got the bones to do it, then here's the thing. You can go out and when there's sales, when you go to when it's your, what they call it over there, it's not Black Friday, right? So Black Friday, when there's Black Friday, you can go out and grab a lot of these discs, these 4K discs, and they'll have Blu-rays with them. So you can watch the Blu-ray of it. You don't have to have the 4K right away. So you're getting a 4K in the future. You want to make sure that okay, when your 4K, say you get for Christmas, say you get yourself 4K, you get yourself a 4K player, and then you realize, hey, I bought all these movies like in the past that have 4K discs included, and now I can watch these. I can watch these things in 4K. I can set up my sound system. I can set up my Sonos, whatever you're using, your surround sound system, and just really enjoy what 4K has to offer, because there's so much. I'm missing up on some of these comments. I'm going to try and catch up here now. I kind of hope it's the case what you said, but I don't feel like rebuying these movies on Blu-ray, but it's great that they're getting 4K upgrades. Well, that's the thing. Nobody has to rebuy anything. Stein, so that's the thing. Now, there may be certain ones that you're going to want to, whether they put some new features on there, like they did with Halloween 5. They put that opening and open, like alternative opening that everybody wanted to see. So eventually, the bigger the TV, the 4K format shines the visual department versus Blu-ray counterpart. That is true, actually. 4K, and it all depends upon not just on the size of the TV, but the placement of where you're sitting. Now, 65 and up, you're getting a huge improvement. And it's automatically noticeable. If anybody looks at you and says they got a 4K, an actual good 4K 65-inch television set, and tells you that they don't notice the difference between Blu-ray and 4K, I'm sorry, I don't believe that, because it is, especially if you do your settings right, as you will with any TV, whether it be 4K or a 1080p TV, you do want to, when you don't stick with the default settings out of the box. You look and see what the outcome settings are going to be, or you get a Geek Squad person come and do it, right? But either way, it's that's the thing. 65 and up, you can see a significant difference in the picture quality. Even with my 55, 4K, I can see a difference. Not the same difference that I would see with the 65. One thing that you will see though, and that you will notice, is that one of the neat things about 4K is color spectrum. So there are a lot more colors and shades of colors in a 4K release than there are in a regular Blu-ray release. Apart from Amazon, the return less quality version. See, well, for me, this here, by the way, talk about the future of slip. See this? This is Shout Factory's newest version of what a slip is. I'm sure if you buy them like sometime in certain places, like Amazon said that they may just come like this. But even Amazon thinks a lot of them come with these here hard boxes. And for me, a hard box release is 1,000,000 times better than just a slip. And I fell into the slip game a ways back, and I'm be honest with you, I got a lot of slips. I still, like I said before, I mentioned on here before, you may see me have a slip sale down the road, slip cover sale, but I'll never have a hard box sale because I think these are really, really well done and really good, and they protect well. A slip doesn't protect anything. Like in actuality, I remember going to a store when I was really collecting slips, and oh yeah, they have reversible artwork. So the artwork on the other side is this here. Well, it's this, so I won't have to turn it over, but it's this here. So this has the original artwork. So because I've got this here hard box, which has new artwork in it, I just switched it around to the original artwork for the inside of the case, and it slides in easy, which the VSAs don't do. 88 Films do amazing hard box releases. Incredible stuff. My good friend George actually sent me The Nun and the Devil. Beautiful hard box on that one, by the way. Yeah, rest in peace, Estelle Harris. And not only that, actually, June Brown, who played Dottie, Dot on EastEnders for years, actually, just passed away today too. And I'm a huge EastEnders fan, like a big time. So I know all the Duff stuff. So if anybody here is from the UK, yeah, another part of me that you didn't realize. I knew anything about. I know all about EastEnders from the early days of Den Watts and Nick Cotton right up to Gray. But let me just take a quick drink now before I'm just got my apple juice here. I got to drink now because drinking apple juice after I brush my teeth is going to be horrible. So what do you guys think? I want to get some comments from you there on what you think. Are you in that Cotton? Right on, Gary. Rest in peace, Dot. I mean, like the Dot and Ethel episode, like years ago when Ethel was passing on, was heart wrenching. Yeah, this is hard. I'm glad to see that the actress was got to retire out of EastEnders, got to do kind of that. So it's sad to see her gone, though. It really is. Yeah, I'm like when I said I was a big soap opera fan, that didn't like stop at like North American soap operas, guys. I'm from Canada. We grew up with Coronation Street, stuff like that. But what do you guys think? Where are you guys? What's your mindset on these 4K releases? I know there's going to be people that are going to be incensed that movies are being re-released in 4K. Like, oh, Death Wish 2 is coming out. I heard there's a bit of blowback on that when Vinegar Syndrome, which blows my mind. I don't have any Cagney and Lacey. I actually got one season of Cagney and Lacey, the first season, but I love the complete collection. It's a gorgeous set, actually, Alan. Where you guys at this? Are you guys ready to dive in? Have you already dived in? I wish. I mean, because I do have a lot of like their different like compilation releases, and I got a few WrestleManias on DVD. And that's okay to be selective, because at the end of the day, Dave, it's good to be selective anyway when it comes to this. Some of us kind of just dive right in, and look, you're looking at who the some of us is right here. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Me and Jose disagree on a lot of different things, but he's a really, really sweet guy. Trust me on that. He's definitely a nice guy. Um, I didn't know he's streaming tonight, or I probably would have asked if I got a giant amp. We could have done it like that. But the fact I'm only using my iPhone would have made that pretty impossible. So yeah, I'm taking. I guess this is another time where me and Master Chaos are Cisco neighboring it, because whereas he doesn't like the re-releases because he's bought them before. I do, and I think that people like Flicker Wave just said, I'm going to be more selective, and maybe it's time to to think about that as we're collecting, as we're buying new releases, to decide what we really want. And sometimes we spend a lot of money for like a Blu-ray release or a special edition release without like really thinking. It could be something that we haven't seen, something that we're not quite sure, but we just want to get it, because it's limited edition. The pyramid thing is going to be. There's always been an issue with that. That's why it took so long to come out track. We've been waiting for years for so many of us. Hey, Jason, welcome, Matt. So many of us here have bought like bootleg editions of Halloween 6. Halloween 666. As it was called back then. If you bought the early release of it over the years, or at conventions or online, or just found it other places. And eventually, when Scream Factory announced that they're putting out a Halloween box set, and it was going to include the producer's cut, that was the key. That was like any other extra was like gravy. The producer's cut is what Halloween fans were looking forward to for so long. I do hope that they can work something out, because I would love to see them expand it to 6, maybe even H2O. And I buy Resurrection on 4K, because I just want to have all the Halloweens. I don't need certain ones, but there are fans out there of the Rob Zombie ones, so I hope that they get those. For people that actually like those films, that would be nice to see people that actually are into the Rob Zombie stuff to get their 4K editions as well. So, Jason, what do you think about the announcement? Making us more selective can not only make us, we're still buying, we're still most likely spending the same amount, and probably more so down the road. But it also gives us a little bit of a kick of rewiring to realize, okay, I want to be up with the new stuff. I want to be there for I want to be there. I want to see my favorite films the way they were in the theaters. I want to hear them with a good audio system, and just really be able to kind of sink them in. And it's worth it. It's worth the extra for that. That's what I'm here for, man. Ask any questions. Do I think Elm Street will ever get a 4K, a Friday 13th release? I do, actually. I think eventually. I know. I got the special edition. It was actually sent for me for a Christmas present, actually. Was it Christmas or birthday? A viewer sent me for a RoboCop. It's one of my prized possessions. I'm a huge RoboCop fan, and I eventually buy that too. I'll eventually, but I got a really good edition of it, so I don't know if I can really need to upgrade on that one. It's fun. I'm not going to press on 4K equals the region 1 disc figures. Mike Myers. Available. Terrible. Yeah. Even though I don't have 4K Pro yet, I think it's great these older horror films are getting this is 4K treatment. To me, at least, I think they're more valuable being seen in 4K over newer films. 100%. When you're looking at 4K, a rookie mistake to do, basically, is Echo Bridge is terrible. But hopefully they're getting better. Like, I haven't seen them in a while, so maybe they've gotten better. I really don't know. A lot of companies started out like with lower quality and kind of like eventually got up there. The thing, and I want to make sure that I get it correct now, because I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, guys. Is that this is a really good step. older movies look better on 4K when it's done well. So that's important. OLED's really good to have. I don't have an OLED TV right now. I wish I did. They're still fairly expensive, but if you have an OLED, you're going to get even more out of your viewing experience because you're going to get more. Yes, the colors are going to be fantastic. Appeared to the 4K RoboCop Steelbook last night. Nice. You're not weak, man. You had good taste. I was really bad at re-releasing movies that got released 4K scans. I like it. Uh, RoboCop 2. Actually, I like all RoboCop films. I like the TV series. I do. It's shot in Toronto. I remember like the first villain was Pug Face Morgan. Yeah, that's how much I know my RoboCop stuff. What company do I think will help release Regario Diodato? To help on DVD. That sounds like a Severin thing. Um, like I could go Vincent way, but sounds like a Severin thing. Diodato especially. Yeah, I could see like Severin's been pretty good about like about choosing like directors, which directors to highlight. Um, Scream Factory has been good about it, but I've been good on like Vinegar Syndrome has been a couple misses in the last little while, but they're Scream Factory's getting a lot better. Death Wish 2 on 4K is a great release. I know some people are upset about it. I don't get why they were, because at the end of the day, you don't have to buy anything that you don't want. That's the truth of the matter. You don't like a format, that's okay. Uh, yeah, you don't need to get it. Like nobody like makes you go out and buy something. Um, you get it because this is a release that you want. I had a already had a 4K of Halloween, the early one that came out. Hey there, Night Freight, welcome, man. Uh, but when Scream Factory announced that they're putting out their 4K, I, I had to go for it. I definitely had to go for it. Oh yeah, there's another one that came out, like Shark movie came out after Cruel Jaws. See, I think Synapse is good, but I don't think they do the. I really think that well, for catalog 4Ks, it's Sony. Like it goes without saying. So if you're getting catalog 4Ks, if you're getting a 4K, just a regular 4K release, not from a boutique label, for instance, and you see the name Sony's name on it, yeah, that's a good 4K. Um, Blue Underground do great 4K releases. Blue Underground went in earlier than a lot of people, so they have kind of an advantage. I think a lot of the 4K releases overall have been there's been some Terminator 2s out there that haven't been as great, right? But as far as the boutique labels goes, we've seen a pretty solid, strong, like front for 4K releases. Snaps did some really good ones early on. I think that the fact that Vinegar Syndrome is actually restoring films is kind of what they do, is going to give them like a strong, solid like lead into 4K, because it's not just it's not just Scream Factory. Vinegar Syndrome has gone all in on 4K. Have you seen the more and more 4K releases coming this year than ever before for Vinegar Syndrome? Severin put out some fantastic films, some Jodorowsky films on 4K. Put out the guy that did 30 Kinds. God, it's Alex de Iglesias. Put out some of his films on 4K. We're getting some really good. Put out the like Dracula, like Blood of Dracula, Fresh for Frankenstein on 4K. Suspiria, Alligator. I don't know, and I'd love to have that one. Fuzz, welcome, man. It's the era of 4K, and I think it's here. I mean, I really think it's here. It took a while to get here. But I think right now, what we're seeing happening, is we're going to get a lot more 4K releases of films. We're gonna see extra features put in to like they was, remember when like mentioning Synapse for instance. Remember when Synapse first started doing Blu-rays, and you could get like a Blu-ray DVD combo pack, right? It's not to sound great. I lost my voice for a second. Fantastic release. Heavy Metal 4K, exactly. Deep Blood, thank you, Antoine. I couldn't remember the name of it. And here's the thing. Here's the killer thing about it. When Snaps first started doing Blu-rays, in order to entice people, what they did is they go out and they put special features only on the Blu-ray. So if you wanted to see out special features, you had to have a Blu-ray player because if you picked up Vampire Circus or something like that, certain features were only on the Blu-ray disc. So if you wanted to see all the features, you had to go to the Blu-ray disc. So I think we may get some, like right now, we're getting ones where the features are going to be on the Blu-ray disc, and they try to save the quality and they just put commentaries and some features. But now a lot more companies are starting to put the features on the 4K disc as well. I think that eventually we might get to see, I'm not sure, but I remember Whiplash was a good quality 4K. I'd have to ask them, actually. Do I think every movie deserves a 4K? For example, Flesh Eater from Meninger Syndrome. It's not my thing. Flesh Eater is a good film. But like I mentioned before, it's it's a good film. It's not a great film. It's not a bad film. It just didn't do a lot for me when I first saw it. I actually bought it from Shriek Show initially when it came out. It cost me actually, I think it cost me over $30 to buy it back then. But that Flesh Eater could be a whale that someone's missing in their collection. And for me, the way that I see this is it doesn't matter if I want to buy it in 4K. At the end of the day, I don't have to. But I want that option out there for everybody to be able to get what they want in 4K. Eastern Proms is a fantastic film, Justin. Love that movie, actually. So yeah, I think every movie, especially older movies specifically, I think really, really deserve the 4K treatment. Modern movies that you buy now in stores, they've been shot on digital anyway most of the time. A lot of them haven't been shot with film unless you're looking at maybe like a Tarantino or something like that. A lot of them are shooting with digital 4K cameras, so there's not much of an uptick that you're going to get on that. The only you got to hope for, again, like audio when it comes to that quality. Like if you're going to get a baller like Dolby Atmos audio system, for instance, then yeah, that 4K on those newer films is going to be fantastic because you're going to hear it in their room. So you might see that privately. But here's the thing: I wasn't a fan. I'm not a fan of that film. I'm not a fan of I'm a fan of some Cat 3 films, but not that. Just didn't do it for me. But I was in the minority there. Like we're in the minority. A lot of people love that film, and the fact that a favorite film came out in 4K is like made so many people happy, and that at the end of the day, that's what it is for me. It's 60mm film put into 4K. Good, yeah, because it's film elements, and the idea behind when you're remastering something, when you're doing things on when things have been shot on film, is you've got it's better. You're going to get more of an uptick. You're going to get a bigger